Nick and I both had experiences with ghosts. Aaron, we just forced him into this. But, about 10 years ago, I had an experience with what I believe would be a spirit of a woman who would wake me up every time I tried going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and just kept trying to tell me something. She'd call me by my full name. And then finally, physical contact happened where she was on my back, I believe, and pinning me down. And then finally I lifted up and I saw a woman standing at the foot of my bed. And then come to find out a few years later, found out a woman actually died, committed suicide in my old bathtub.
3 guys travel the world to some of the most scariest places, and we lock ourselves in from dusk till dawn. And what you see is what you get. It's raw. It's just us filming each other, and we investigate some of the most amazing locations with great history that helps us validate some of the paranormal activities that are actually occurring in these places from eyewitnesses.
Well, that's why we're there to investigate. It's one thing to say you have ghosts. It's another thing to investigate to find out if there's ghosts there. So a lot of the locations, I believe some of them do promote the locations with paranormal activity and ghosts because everybody wants that thrill of that experience. But some of the such places like the Stanley Hotel and other places that are so open about their hauntings, they're not lying, they're not fabricating stuff. They have the hard concrete stories, and you got to go back to what the history is. And you got to learn about what that history is. And particularly with older locations, how many emotions, how many moments in time where there's there laughter, was there sadness, was there tragedy, did people go there to commit suicide? There's so much jumbled emotions when you look at some of these locations, and some ghosts are just not all intelligent. Some ghosts are just those residual emotions replaying like a record loop. So you got to understand wherever there's a hard, concentrated amount of emotions, whether how old it is or not, you could have a residual haunting there.
So we're all over the place. You never know what state we're actually going to pop up in and investigate your history.
Watch our Twitter.
Yeah, we got every Friday nights, 9 p.m. on the Travel Channel, Ghost Adventures. And if you want to know more about that possession, I talk about it in my book, Dark World, that is out. You can get this. When you talk about demons and demonic infestations and possession and violent attacks and attachments, you're dealing with a whole other realm of what a haunting is and what most people, perceive to be just, a little boy you see waving at you in the window. This takes it to the extreme factor and the danger factor to a whole other level. And that's something where the novice investigators should not go and try and elicit activity, as I learned the hard way in the first season of our show. I learned that lesson because I didn't really know what a demon was. I thought it was something that would just be fun to go in there, provoke and taunt. Little did I listen to 19 sworn affidavits being signed from police officers, clergy, political officials, having attacks in that same exact establishment, and also a full possession on the caretaker, Carl Lawson. And when we went there, I got scarred physically from there, and then we went back again for a couple ghost hunts and also another investigation. And then we began learning what this is all about. And it's 2 years later, and we're still having problems with it. I had a full possession. I had an exorcism performed on me there that didn't air on TV. I don't want nobody to see it. We're not here to convince everybody and convince every skeptic and care about all of that. We listen to them because I was a skeptic as well. But we don't burden down in the controversy and the ridicule of this industry and of the paranormal. I know that ghosts exist. We know that ghosts exist. And we've been through some very hellish activity and stuff in our homes and experiences that have severely changed us. And that is enough to worry about.